To create the drop shadow, the first thing you'll need to do is duplicate your lettering. Go to the Layers panel, highlight the layer with your lettering, swipe left, and tap Duplicate. I usually name the duplicate Shadow so the layers don't get confusing. Change the color of the duplicate lettering. The quick and easy way to do this is to tap the layer, turn on Alpha Lock, go to the color picker and select the color you want for the drop shadow, tap the layer again, and tap Fill Layer. As you can see, the color has changed. Then be sure to turn Alpha Lock off. Now tap the selection tool and drag the shadow layer down and to the left, or whichever direction you want your shadow to be. I'm making a really thick, chunky shadow, so I'm going to drag this pretty far out. Now you'll need to connect the two. Make sure you're still on your shadow layer and draw lines to connect to the original layer. If your lettering is curved like this, make sure your connecting lines follow the same curve. Fill in the area between your connecting line and the original lettering. For letters like E and O, which have an open area, make sure you're just connecting the outer edges. If you were to hide your top layer, you'll see that the shadow layer looks a little bit crazy, but that's okay. Now let's add some shading to make this even more dimensional. Highlight your shadow layer, then tap the plus sign to add a new layer above. Tap the new layer and turn Clipping Mask on. This little arrow indicates that this layer is a clipping mask. Choose a color that's darker than your shadow color and choose your favorite texture brush. I'm using the Gouache Shader 1 brush from Retro Supply Co. Now, before we start shading, we have to think about the direction of the light source. Since this shadow is down and to the left, it means the light source is up and to the right. So areas on the right side of the shadow will be lighter than areas on the left side. With that in mind, we can start shading. First, add the texture to the bottom and left sides of the shadow layer, and you can be fairly loose with this at first. Now switch to the eraser tool in a small solid brush. I'm going to use the monoline brush. Erase your shading at the areas where the letters connect to create a crisp line. While still on the eraser tool, switch to a fine textured brush. I'm using the noise brush for this. Erase a bit more to create a smooth transition from the shaded area. You may need to go back and forth between erasing and shading to get the transition looking just the way you want it. For the open areas in the E and O, add a little shading towards the inside of the curve to add dimension. And you're done.